You know, the line doctors like to use, prevention is better than cure. So that don't prevent yourself from getting into hardships or places of hardships or going into the hard direction. You better go into those hard directions and hit the rock bottom, but know that at the end of the day, you made a hard decision. And through hard decisions, through hard choices, you get to learn a lot, and also you get to really spread your wings and grow and become someone bigger. I don't know if the prevention is better than cure line has actually blended well there. You guys can figure it out later, right? So I was watching a video by Jordan Peterson. He's one of the great minds of this generation that I like to listen to. And Jordan was saying that you have to undergo voluntary suffering for you to actually grow, for you to become better as a human being. You need to put yourself in uncomfortable positions. He was actually saying that comfort kills your soul. You're killing your soul if you embrace a lot of comfort in your life. And each and every day in my life, I try to ask myself these questions oftenly. Am I making the comfortable decision here, or am I taking a risk? Am I being uncomfortable? Because it's only in uncomfortability that I can actually learn. I can actually spread my wings and become more of influence and of importance to this world. The hardships that we have grown on as Kenyans, as Africans, as people from maybe what scholars and economists like to call third world countries or the global south, the kind of life we have actually grown up on or in kind of leads us to make decisions that can guide us into sometimes short-term comfortability, because someone has been raised in the slums where they sleep on one single iron sheet house, where outside their door there is a trench of sewage water running, and they go to school, maybe depend on meals in school. They don't have regular supply of water. Someone in this kind of life will actually want to make decisions that lead them to comfort. I myself have grown a bit, I won't call it really rough, but my childhood also was not that easy, because I was raised by a single mother in the same single room, iron sheet, I'm just trying to say here. But my mother labored to ensure that I have a good education. I know English, I can write, can articulate myself, and we will spend long hours in a day. During those rainy days, those are the most memorable days when I didn't like staying at home, because the relationship between me and my mom at the time was just business. It was business. You need to do some exercises, English exercises, Kiswahili exercises, give them to her, she marks. If you fail, there's a beating there, If you don't do the works, then if you don't do the assignments, then there's a beating there. But living in that life, in some way, also sometimes compelled me to want to make decisions that were easier so that I can get out of situations. For me, it wouldn't be prostitution. I don't know of male prostitutes. I haven't seen them. For me, probably it could have been crime, but I'm not that gangster. I'm not that. I'm too scared to be a gangster. For me, the easier choice would be maybe sticking to school, going from degree to degree, trying to build my life. It would have been tough, but also there's comfortability in a system, If you go to school, primary, secondary, university, then maybe graduate with a PhD or master's, and then maybe you get lucky, you get into another system, get into a job, and then scale like that. Especially if you're being funded, it can be very easy for you. That's a comfortable journey. However hard within that journey it might be. But if you get out of a system and come into a life and start hustling, you don't know how to hustle. Like me, I never knew how to hustle. My mother really took care of me. And so when I graduated from campus, Maseno University, I felt that I needed to go into a life of wilderness and see how life is, and maybe in the process get to grow, get to learn a lot. And true to the word, the things I've learned out at school, they have been of much importance compared to being in school for all those years. I'm not trying to downgrade education in any way, but they say the most important skills in this life are the skills that you're going to teach yourself as you maneuver through life. Leave alone those skills that you're seated in class and told you must do this, you must, you know. They're those skills that out of necessity of life, out of the need to survive, out of the need to be of significance in an environment where significance is so important so that you can put food in your mouth, you get to learn these skills, and these skills are going to be so important in your life. For example, I've never been taught video anywhere in school. I've never been taught photography. I've never been taught journalism, you know. Journalism is something, it's a passion I learned through observing ever since I was a young child up to the moment I'm here. I'd really get impressed with people like Lillian Muli, Ramanyal, Beatrice Marshall, while they were reading and presenting news. And I felt that I too need to be on that platform someday and present news. Only that in this time, this space where I'm in, my interest kind of shifted a little bit. I feel news is so controlled. I would want to test myself in that field in future, but I've tried it in radio and it was awesome, but I've not tried it on TV. I think I should try it on TV and make a conclusion. However, the skills that I have right now are the skills that have allowed me to meet so many people, interact with so many people, and in the process, end up having an idea of building my own company, Hadithiad. You guys have seen Hadithiad. Hadithiad has photography, video, and digital marketing encompassed in it, and also voiceovers. These skills that I know, these things that I've actually acquired right now that I have, that have given me meaning and have allowed me to meet so many people in this life, they're self-taught. The things that I've had to learn so that I can actually survive. So if you play the comfortable game so much, you don't risk, you don't go into spaces where you don't know anything and you have to find a way out, your life is gonna be boring, you know? At least sleep hungry one day and see how life actually looks like. I haven't gotten there yet, but I hope I don't ever sleep hungry, but there are days when it has been this close for me to sleep hungry. And when you're in those spaces where there's no comfortability and you have to really ache your brain, you get to get ideas on how to maneuver through life. And through that, you get to understand that if I learn this skill, I can actually be able to get out of this position where I feel useless as a person. And you only get to open your brain that when you are in an uncomfortable position. So what I'm trying to say is, do not shun hardship. You need to actually embrace it. You need to go towards it. As you go towards it, you grow even more. But as you go towards hardship, you also need to be really willing to learn, because there's so many people who understand the system of life outside school. They know how the system works, and you really need to sit down and listen to them. So that for me, the people who have actually become more of my friends are people who are business-oriented people. Nowadays, I've shifted a little bit from the book smart, or people who are so good with education, because in them I see a lot of me, because I think I was good in education in my own right. I tried my best in school. And whatever always ate me in school was how would I function when there wasn't this system? How would I function? And so at the time when I was actually graduating and leaving school, I remember there was a bit of opportunities that could link me to maybe study masters outside Kenya. And it was a very great opportunity, but picturing myself, I thought, would I want to live my life? Maybe under the circumstances that I've just studied, and probably just studied things that I wasn't even interested in, because I was really hurting my brain to see. I've done direct translation. They're hurting my brain, naumiza akili, trying to see how can journalism actually become of importance to me. Is content creation actually a field that would actually create a legacy for me? Because I want a legacy, I want to live a different life. I'm not saying I'm not going to go back to school. I will go back to school, but now if I go back to school, I know essentially what I need. I need to study ABCD. Why am I doing this? Because of ABCD, So for example, right now, if I go back to school, I know I need to expand my knowledge in terms of handling business and that kind of thing. Yeah. However, before I lose the trail of thought or the importance of why I decided to do this video, you need to voluntarily put yourself in places of uncomfortability. Only by doing that do you actually grow and become a better human being. Ask yourself the questions that I try to ask myself daily. Am I making the right decision, or am I trying to be comfortable here? In 100 times that I will try to make the right decision to not be comfortable, I only win maybe 10 times, and I need to upgrade that number. It's not always that I choose uncomfortability over comfortability. Sometimes I look at my own interest, I look at my family's interest. I see the people who are around me that probably depend on me to survive. Not entirely, but in terms of meeting bills, buying food and that kind of thing. And the dynamics really change when you see that life as not only your life. It actually changes. But it has always been my prayer that I be able to make the hardest of decisions to go forward. And I hope so far I've tried that. I really hope so far I've tried that. Sometimes when I pray, it's so funny because while a normal human being would pray and say that, probably they'll try to insinuate in their prayer that no hardship will come their way. Sometimes I ask God, let the hardship come, but may you give me the grace, the courage, and may you remind me of your love when I'm in that moment of hardship, so that I can actually brave it, so that my life, I don't look and I don't see myself in a position where there is no hardship. And I ask God to give me the challenges He knows very well will not crush me, but instead will help me learn. Yeah, I hope I've made sense. Fake Guru. Good night. Sleep well.